Hi, it's me. I didn't do a talkie vid in a while, so I thought I'd do one. Um, and of course, it's about Scientology. Haha. um, Scientologists pride themselves on a lot of different things, and they set themselves apart from the rest of the human race because of certain abilities and capabilities that they have. And one of them is the ability to understand words, mainly by looking up the definitions of the words in a dictionary, and thereby they claim to have a greater understanding of things. And the other thing is their ability to confront. So, with those two things in mind, I want to refer back to a quotation from Justice Andersen of the Supreme Court of Victoria, Australia. Now, this guy is a judge. I would suggest that a Scientologist looks up the word judge. Judges tend not to be prejudiced. They tend to look at the facts and they tend to draw a conclusion based on the facts. They tend to throw out prejudice, actually. So, if there was a conspiracy against you or anybody else, the judge, you would hope, would see right through it. But in his judgment, he came out with a number of different things, and this is where the word clearing comes in. He starts, well, he doesn't start, this is actually from halfway through, but this is the most oft quoted section of the ruling. Scientology is evil. Wow. I mean, the first time I read this, actually, I was shocked, and I didn't necessarily agree with him. But upon reflection, Scientology is evil. It's not good. It doesn't do good. It pretends to do good, but doesn't. It hides behind a mask that says it's going to do good. So, in any definition of the word, Scientology is evil. He goes on to say its techniques are evil. This means for a Scientologist, hello Osa, this means that the tech is evil. Now, why would someone say this? Because the tech's there to help people. Except it doesn't. It does the opposite. It ensnares people, it traps people, it enslaves people, it captures people, it makes people into zomboids. So, all I've done so far is take 7 words from the judgment, but, if you were what's the word they use for the person who's super literate? If you were super literate, what part of Scientology is evil? Its techniques are evil. Don't you get? Anyway, it goes on to say its practice is a serious threat to the community, and we know it is because people die because of the Scientology beliefs, and that leads us on to how medically, morally, and socially. Okay, so medically, when you're a Scientologist, you have different ideas on medicine. You think you actually know better than doctors. You think you know better than the entire medical profession, the psychological profession, the psychiatrical profession. You become a know-it-all. You actually become a kind of mini Hubbard at that point. But you know best when it comes to medicine because you're a Scientologist. Question that, just a little. Morally, need I say any more? Scientologist has absolutely no sympathy or empathy for anybody else. The entire bridge to total freedom is a selfish thing, whilst claiming to expand your dynamics. Like a lot of OT wins are like how the dynamics have expanded. Well, what's wrong with these people that they're so bloody selfish in the first place and can't look beyond getting themselves up the bridge? Morally, Scientology is absolutely toxic. Stories I've heard about the guy begging, oh, don't worry about him, we'll get him next lifetime. Well, that's a good way of ignoring the problem of the guy begging outside your door. So there's a lot of stuff goes on there. Socially, well, be prepared to lose your friends and your family because they think you're weird because you just got into Scientology for the above reasons. And the next bit is the bit that I really didn't agree with when I first read it. Its adherents are sadly deluded and often mentally ill. Now that sounds harsh, but I've come to meet and greet a lot of Scientologists over the last 6 years since I woke up from the spell that I've been put under, and they are deluded. It's fantastic. I had a long conversation with one who concluded, okay Pete, you're not evil, you're not an evil SP, you're just misinformed and misguided. This coming from a guy who believes everything he hears at Scientology events. I said something like, "You took the words right out of my mouth." It's incredible dealing with these people because the level of delusion is absolutely complete. Please, guys, please, please, please question what they tell you. Look for the facts, and then when you have them, decide for yourselves. I'm not attacking Scientology here. I'm just merely saying what a judge well, actually not concluded, but this was the guy's judgment. But for you Scientologists, look at what they tell you and then look at the facts. Now, when I was in Scientology, I couldn't find facts that contradicted what Scientology was saying. Isn't that weird? Anyway, moving on. The mentally ill thing, well, it's not for me to say that. But if you do look at what happens within Scientology, you'd have to say, you know, there's some serious mental issues going on there. The way people treat each other. You get, oh well, I was just obeying orders. Yes, of course you were. So anyway, so I just wanted to like kind of analyze that, because I posted that particular quotation a lot recently, and people might have been wondering, what's he thinking? Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, if you know the meanings of words and you read that, it kind of blows the lid on Scientology. And it's old, it's not new. I think the judgment was made in something like 1965. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But it was made by a judge, and he's just telling it like it is. He's not lying, he's not misinformed or misguided. He got all the information that was available to him at the time, and he that was his judgment. So good for him. And for Scientologists, please, please, please look at what's going on. You know things are not right. Start pulling on the strings. Start unraveling what's going on, because until you wake up to it, you're in a trap. You're like the fly in the spider's web. It's pretty horrible, and I sympathise entirely with you. Peace, bro.